cars. Let's have a look.
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello race fans, and welcome here to V8's Online as we get ready to present you with V8 Supercars Americas. I'm JD Smith, and with me this afternoon is my great friend Kane Kraft to call all the action here from Montreal, Canada at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, one of our favorite tracks to visit all season long. We do want to let you know that tonight's show is brought to you by the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and our very own V8's Online Superstore. Kane, how you doing, buddy? Happy to be here tonight. We got a heck of a show on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time we were here, we had some great action. Pretty big wreck at the start last time. We'll hope that don't happen again. But yeah, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, that great track.
Very fun action every time we visit. It's always just fun to come here. But one of the big things about it here is the racers love it and they hate it. They love it because it reminds me, I know it reminds some of them of the fabulous road courses or street courses in the cities that we see a lot on the V8 Supercar schedule. On the other hand, we also, it's a love-hate thing because it also, on iRacing, on the sim racing service, it has one of the most difficult corner cutting policies there is. It is very, very unforgiving, and the penalties are not only easy to get, they're very, very severe, and very bad placement as well. So it can really, really knock somebody down. Somebody can have over a 5-second lead, and that lead can be in jeopardy all the way until they cross the final finish line at the very end. It is that crucial. We've seen it before, Kane, and wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again here this afternoon.
Oh, we've seen it many, many times where these penalties have cost drivers some serious positions. And I expect we'll probably see it again tonight. But another thing tonight, drivers are really finding that this week's been difficult on this track and challenging in the fact that the drivers' times just ain't what they were last season. They're really struggling as it's just been a windy week here in Montreal, and the wind is really playing heck with these cars. The wind's coming out of the southwest, and they're really getting a strong headwind out going down the backstretch. So it's only 12 miles an hour at 19 kilometers to the rest of the world, and but it seems to really be affecting these cars.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you mentioned the weather. It is really something that we kind of skip over from time to time, and it has such a large effect on these cars and how they perform. The drivers, of course, can feel the difference in the weather before you and I can, and in the commentary booth, you know, we're just talking. We don't get the actual feel of the cars. We just can watch, and they can really feel a difference to the tiniest degree of weather change. And with the wind comes inconsistencies with the drivers. They may have practiced all week long, Kane, and have a certain feel for the track, and then they get in the race this afternoon and everything can be totally different and throw them a whole new loop of challenges to overcome. So look for that to be huge tonight with this added weather. It really is a bigger story than we ever make it out to be, but it really makes a difference. And there are actual drivers that are really good with adapting to the different race conditions from time to time, and there's some drivers that really have a difficult time dealing with the realistic weather, and it can cause a lot of problems. So it'd be fun to see tonight who's able to adapt to the situations and be successful in this great circuit here we have tonight.
I agree, and I do think we're going to see some drivers that can adapt really well. The temperature in Montreal is a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing in the last few races, but track temperature is 84 degrees, so I think it's definitely going to be warm enough they'll be able to get some grip. And I think, but from what I'm hearing, the track's feeling a little greasy, so I'm not real sure.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that. Obviously with the oval side of racing, it's actually kind of opposite. The cooler the track temperature, they tend to get a little more grip. And that's why the night races in your night NASCAR oval races, the night races, those guys have the added grip. We saw that with the real world Daytona 500. When the rain delay came, Kane, it really pushed these guys that were having trouble pushing early. They had this added grip, and we really saw some really good racing. So when the drivers are able to get that added grip, it builds driver confidence, and we have that here in the V8 Supercar here today. So if they're able to get a little extra grip, it really boosts driver confidence, and that's when we see that really close battle racing, and it's what we love about coming here to Montreal. And I hope that it's like that today. Now, even if it's not like that, and like you said, it feels a little greasy out there, a little slippery, a lot of the guys are still going to be trying to fight for position, and it will make these battle for position really fun to watch.
It will, as we seen last time we were here, which was the season finale last season. So not too many races ago. We've seen a lot of close racing, and I think that's definitely what we're in store for again. Some good close bumper-to-bumper racing. And like you mentioned, this track is so much like a street circuit, like these V8 Supercars race in real life on circuits just like this one. So it is very suited to the V8 Supercar, and it makes for some exciting V8 Supercar action.
It really does. If you look at all the circuits that we have on the iRacing simulator, this is the absolute closest thing we have to a street circuit like you would see when the real V8s kick off at Clipsal in Adelaide in March this year. And so it's really exciting when we get to come here. But we do have the added fear of the dreaded stewards here and how things are calculated here. It's very strict. These chicanes are going to be some of the most important chicanes that we'll hit all season long. I can't think of any more that are as crucial as we have here at Montreal. But Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, it hasn't been on the service very long, but in its short history here, Kane, it has already become legendary as far as the races here have all been good. We haven't had a bad one yet. We were able to finish our our season last season. It was our finale race. We finished up at Montreal, and it was just wonderful. We saw our defending champion, Jay McMullen, win the title here. It was just unbelievable action. Can't wait to get things started here in just a little bit. Now, this is our 5th week into the 12-week season. As we start getting closer to midway, exact midpoint is next week. This is the lead-up race to Bathurst, my favorite week of the entire season. I cannot wait. But what a great race to lead into that. And just kind of looking around at how the season has gone, it's really been a great season so far. And when we talk about our defending champion, he had a really rough start to the season, Kane. I was not the way he wanted to start the season. He had a very rough race at Mosport to kick off the season. He was absent from Brands Hatch. He come back to Watkins Glen, put down a phenomenal performance. Then we go to Road Atlanta last week, another great performance by Marlon McMullen. What will be in store for the defending champ as we go into Montreal? It's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, he's definitely, lucky enough that we have some drop weeks, but he's really going to have to stay on his game for the rest of the season. But he is doing just that. He's really came back after those 2 bad races with a vengeance, and he's really been doing well. So I expect we'll see some good performance out of him tonight here at Montreal, and I expect more of the same from him. He's really been working hard on this series, and I think he's going to do well. He's got some tough challengers though. Yeah, John Emerson, who's also been doing well this season, and Chad Chastain, who's been doing good as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, John Emerson, when he's been here, has been great. He's only been at 2 races, I believe, so far. He was at our season opener at Mosport and then rode Atlanta last week. So he does have the 2 absent races. Of course, the drop weeks can make up for that. It'll be interesting to see if he is here today in the lineup. But some of the drivers that have been here every week, you mentioned it, Chad Chastain. Bo Cattell has been phenomenal. We've seen another fast driver in Kurt Stenberg. He's been really fast. Sanjin Delilac, another one who's really been fast. Nigel Baines has been in a top 5. His name has been almost concrete in the top 5 each week. Look for him to sneak in a win here sooner or later. I thought we might see him grab one a little earlier. We don't visit his home track of Brands Hatch anymore. We went there week 2, and I thought he was going to sneak one there. But, you never know what can happen. Like I said, here we are in Montreal. It's going to be really fun to see who's able to do what this week, because you know what next week is. It's Bathurst, buddy. And, boy, we can't wait for that.
Bathurst is definitely the most exciting race of the season. It's such a challenging track, and we've got such great Australian participation. All the Aussies really love the track, so it's a high participation track, and it's just a fantastic track. High speeds, lots of high speed corners. It's dangerous, but it's a track that everybody loves. Definitely one of the most difficult tracks on the service.
Oh, by far, but it is, these cars are built for that place. They just go hand in hand. I mean, it's, they just peanut butter and jelly, man. These two just go together. There's nothing else better. So, the excitement is really going to pick up. Now, it's getting about that time, just past 9:15 Eastern time here in the United States, which means on Friday evenings here in the United States, that is about race time. The guys will be starting out for warm-ups. And we'll be getting a grid to you guys real soon. It's going to be coming up, so don't go anywhere as we get ready to get some pictures out your way. It's going to be really exciting here for Week 5 action of the V8 Supercar America Series presented by V8s Online. I'm excited, Kane. Let's get this thing started here.
Yeah, it is about that time. The guys are getting settled into their simulators and getting ready to start their warm-ups, and we'll be joining them very soon to start bringing some pictures.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be 2 splits tonight. Of course, we always bring you the top split here on V8s Online, and it looks like we're going to have 15 car field in both splits, Kane. So that's going to be pretty exciting there. We're going to have 15 cars battling hard for a victory here. And, man, it's going to be real exciting to see who will be able to grab that top spot here as we take down Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And I'll tell you what, this place, I can't say it enough. I get so excited when we come here. I'm glad. I really like I was looking at some of the scheduling as we look. I was looking at Bathurst, obviously, but some of the other tracks that we visit this year, some of these guys are really going to have to take advantage of this track today, because some of the tracks that we are going to be visiting soon are not driver favorites necessarily, or they're not tracks that we see quite as often as others as we head to places like Sonoma. We haven't been there, especially in the V8. I know a lot of the guys don't get a lot of time there, so that'll be really fun to see. Another one is going to be Orland Park. What a great place to finish out the season. Of course, we have Mid-Ohio is another one I meant to say there that we don't visit quite a lot. But we visit those places. Then we have a long race at Phillip Island, and we head to Road Atlanta, Okayama, and then we'll finish out our season at Orland Park. So a lot of these guys are looking at today when they look at the remaining tracks on the schedule, Kane, and they're really saying, hey, man, I'm good at this track. I've got to make it happen here today. So look for that to be humongous as we head out. I'm going to look for this race to be almost a sprint-style race. I don't think you're going to have time to dilly-dally around here. I think we're going to see white-knuckle racing from the green flag.
I agree. Just 20 laps. The drivers really got to get on it to get it done. So just 20 laps here, as you can see the maps up on the screen now. Just 13 turns, 40-mile-an-hour pit lane. So that pit lane speed. Sorry, but let's take a look at the temperatures. It's 84 degrees in Montreal with the 95-degree track temperature. 10.4 knots with a southwest wind, and as I was mentioning earlier, that wind at 12 mile an hour is definitely going to play into this race. It's really affecting the cars this week, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Well, I do want to say some news real quick. We have a first-time pole sitter for the season. It is a Dayco Ford Falcon driver, but it is not Marlon McMullen. How about Tobias Zerny on the pole here for Montreal this week? How about that, Kane?
I'm excited to see Tobias in the series. I've been a long-time fan of Tobias, so to see him come to the series and run Montreal, I'm glad to see him here. It's going to be exciting.
Going to be real exciting for him. This is going to be how the grid will line up. We'll go ahead and give it to you. Tobias Zerny on pole 1, man. He is on our pole. Corey Preston in the HPR Falcon. He has been outstanding, and he's been on a heck of a run lately. He will be starting second on the outside of row 1. On the inside of row 2, it will be Marlon J. McMullen with Mark Anderson of Kamikaze Race Team on the 4th spot. 5th position will be going to Michael Fulcher with Nigel Baines in 6th. How about Sanjin Delilac starting in the 7th spot with the fast Dayco Ford of Kurt Stenberg in 8th. Marty Carroll of Team SDC Racing will be in the 9th spot with Sam Collins rounding out your top 10. 11th will go to Michael Schreier with Chris Bowen Chris Bean. I'm sorry, Chris Bean. Said your name wrong. I apologize. He'll be starting 12th. And then the teammate of Sanjin Delilac, Dale Niche, starting in the 13th spot. And then Stefan Maureen starting in 14th, and 15th going to Eduardo Prado. So that is how our 15 top split drivers will line up for week 5 of the V8 Supercar America Series. We're revving up. Let's go green, Kane.
They are revved up. We are green at Montreal. The drivers are taking off, and looks like a pretty clean start so far.
So far, a great start. Had a driver that spun his tires a little bit on the start. That is going to be the driver of, I think it was Stefan Morin. It was, and he had a spun tire. He started in 14th, and he's in 15th. Rough start for the back of the top pack, but that's how the start goes. Tobias, your pole sitter, is able to hold up near the top, but is not in first. How about Corey Preston, able to go into that first spot on the outside pole position, jumps out to the lead. Got some awesome camera angles coming to you from Kane Craft, always doing a fantastic job keeping us looking awesome throughout the race. How about this? A tight pack and a tight race for the lead right now, as Corey Preston of High Power Racing is right there with the Dayco Ford of Tobias Zerny. And heading around this hairpin turn, heading down into this long straightaway, we should see a high passing rate here today as we see them really use the draft down this straightaway. And at the end of this straightaway is probably the most crucial chicane that we see the most penalties come from, is up here on this chicane you're about to see our leader head into right now. It's very, very crucial that they hit this just right. If they get just off of that curb, it will let them know with a slowdown. Well, I tell you what, right now this is a really good battle for the lead, Kane. I don't know if you're able to check it out like I am. Man, these guys are really going at it.
They are. Tobias is all over Corey, and Corey's doing a great job with the pressure. So good job to Corey for being able to hold off such a strong pressure from Tobias Zerny. Got Marlon McMullen back and forth, also putting serious pressure on the Kamikaze drivers to try to get around and get into that third spot.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Kane. I was looking, and I don't know if we're going to be able to, they'll be able to make the whole distance on one tank of fuel. There will be no problem, I think. If you have a full tank, Kane, if you put in the max amount of fuel, it gives you an estimated lap time of 19.5 seconds. I mean 19 and a half laps, maybe a little bit more. So with the tiniest bit of fuel saving, they'll be fine. So I don't think we'll have to see anybody pit other than if there is an incident. I don't know, maybe if tires were to get that far out, but I just don't see it becoming a big advantage to hit the pits in this race. How about side by side down the straightaway? Our pole sitter of Tobias Zerny tries to make a move on the outside of Corey Preston and is not going to be able to be successful. Corey Preston does lead as we head to lap 3 now. And this is how your race is set at the beginning. Corey Preston is your leader with Tobias Zerny closely in second. Third, Mark Anderson of Kamikaze Racing has his hands full with Marlon J. McMullen in fourth. Fifth, another Kamikaze driver, Michael Fulcher, rounds out your top 5. And then in the back we have Kurt Stenberg and his Dayco Ford Falcon in 6th, with the Nigel Baines of SDC Motorsports in 7th. Sam Collins in the 8th position. He started 10th, already up 2 positions in 3 laps. And then Sanjin Delilac in the 9th place. Chris Bean in 10th. Marty Carroll 11th. Michael Schreier runs 12th. Eduardo Prado is in the 13th position. Dale Niche 14th, and Stefan Maureen rounds out your 15-car field. We are on lap 3 of 20, Kane. Already a fantastic race so far. Very close battles all through the field, but one to really talk about is for the lead right now. As we head into the hairpin turn, this is a really big opportunity. We saw Tobias almost make the pass on the last time around, but there you see it. Corey Preston with a fantastic jump out of the hairpin. He should be fine. Another battle that's really heating up as we go a few cars back. Go back and check out the yellow machine there of Kurt Stenberg and his Dayco Ford Falcon, and Nigel Baines really going at it. But Nigel Baines has his hands full, as well as he's followed right behind him with Sam Collins starting to make a move as well, Kane.
Now we've got 3 little packs of cars. You seem to have gotten kind of split up into 3 packs so far, but some great racing so far at Montreal.
Yeah, it's really awesome, good racing right now. And I'm telling you what, this is awesome. When you got a pack with these names right here, I mean, look at this: Kurt Stenberg, Nigel Baines, Sam Collins, and Sanjin Delilac. You put
we
those
lost
names together.
Corey Preston. I want to get a recall replay and see exactly what happened to Corey Preston as he's fallen back to 4th position.
Yeah, that something has definitely hit the number 11 Nissan. I mean, the HPR. Excuse me, the HPR Falcon there. That is not good news for Corey Preston, who had such a great start. Oh man, he was side by side going into, I think he had a slowdown penalty, Kane. We talked about it, and I think that coming through the final chicane, he really had to utilize, well, he lost 1 position there, and I'm trying to see where he lost the other position.
Just a little bit further up, he went ahead and had to yield some time, and the other 3 got around him. So that's the answer to what happened to Corey Preston. Slowdown penalty out of the last chicane. So he's still in it, though. He's still in 4th place, and as we know, a lot of drivers end up getting that penalty throughout this race. So he's definitely not out of the race for sure.
No, he's not. Right now, great battle to watch, Kane. Nigel Baines in the number 9 SDC Ford Falcon trying to make his way around Kurt Stenberg, and Nigel was a little bit back, but now he's right there with Kurt. This is going to be a big fight for position, because this could put Nigel up into the top 5 if he is able to make a successful pass.
Little scrape on the wall coming out of the chicane.
Also, another battle that's starting to brew up is Marty Carroll and Michael Fulcher, a Kamikaze and Team SDC, going at it back here for the 9th position. A great jump right there for Michael Fulcher. He was hanging right there with Marty Carroll, and then got the jump he needed to out of the corner. Heads into the chicane nicely, and now Marty Carroll has his hands full as Michael Schreier is on his tail.
Michael Schreier doing an excellent job today. I've seen him make several good passes on this track, so he's really doing a good job. He's got good speed on this track.
Right now, as we are on lap number 5, about to start the 6th lap, our leader makes a new lap start as Tobias Zerny of Dayco in the Powerbond Ford Falcon takes the lead, or has the lead, pardon me, and has a nice little lead, about almost a 2-second lead over Marlon J. McMullen, the defending champion here in the V8 Supercar America Series. And how about Marlon J. McMullen? He's only 2 seconds off of the lead. We talked in pre-race about how he had a rough start to the year, but ever since, he has had a fantastic rebound. And look for him to really fight pressure on Tobias here as he tries to make his way up towards the front.
Yeah, he's really been working hard since he's come back from those first 2 races, and he's really been working hard to have good finishes to these races, and I can see that here with him being up in the top 2 positions.
Right now, sorry to cut you off, buddy. We got Kurt Stenberg losing a couple positions as Kurt Stenberg has now lost 1, 2, 3, almost 4 positions as he is now back behind Sanjin Delilah. So he's fallen all the way back to 9th place. He was sitting all the way up.
And Sanjin sideways.
Big trouble, Sanjin Delilah. And Marty Carroll gets turned around and then gets hit by an HPR Ford. I believe it was the HPR machine. It was of Chris Bean. Big time damage to the front of Chris Bean's Ford. We're going to have some repairs done, I believe, on 1 or 2 of these cars. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be interesting to see if they stay out. They know that the time is going to be crucial. One will stay out. Will Marty stay out as well? He will. Very tough break right there for Marty Carroll and for Chris Bean there. Got caught up in a spin out there as we saw Mr. Sanjin Delilah get spun around there. Very tough break. The good news is for Sanjin is his car does not look to be damaged at all. He just spun around and he got a little contact on him, but not as bad as the other 2. So although he sits back in 13th at the moment, he still has a good car that can get back up towards the front.
Yeah, Marty's looking like he's got quite a bit of damage on that car. He's really struggling with the steering, so tough break for Marty. He was really having a great run.
Well, if I know Marty like I think I do, he'll be, he's not giving up. He'll be fighting back hard for position. With Kurt Stenberg falling back like he did, that moved Nigel Baines and Michael Fulcher both up a spot. They ride in 5th and 6th now at the moment. And Nigel Baines really trying to move ahead as he's got his sights on Corey Preston at the moment. And we saw Corey lead the first 2 laps here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And now he is looking to try to hang on to 4th. Tell you who snuck up in the top 3 is the Kamikaze race team driver Mark Anderson. Has found himself in a potential podium spot as he rides in 3rd at the moment. Now he does have plenty of company as he has an HPR Ford and a SDC Motorsport Ford both in his rear view at the moment.
How about the Kamikaze boys? They really come into this series and have been really doing a great job.
They have made a name for themselves very seriously. Both drivers right now, both in the top 6. They run 3rd and 6th at the moment. And when you just take a look at what they've accomplished so far, it's just been phenomenal. We really should try to keep a better eye on the team championship in this series because there's some great teams that run in this series. I mean, we have the Dayco guys, we have the SDC Motorsports, of course we just talked about the Kamikaze race team, we got the HPR team. I mean, so many teams, when we have them on the thing, we just don't talk about the points enough. But that's awesome for these guys, man. I mean, really a bunch of great teams out here on track. Oh, and I don't want to forget about Sanjin and Dale Niche as well. They got an awesome team as well.
I brought up the points since you mentioned it. On the lower right-hand side of the screen, we can see the points, and Mark Anderson is actually in the lead in the points, with Chad Chastain in second, Nigel Baines is in third, Michael Schreier in fourth, John Emerson fifth, Bo Cattell sixth, Sanjin Delilich seventh, Michael Fulcher eighth, Marlon McMullen in ninth, and Corey Preston rounds out the top 10 in the championship points.
How about that? How about Mark Anderson leading in the points? That's awesome.
It really is. Good job to both the Kamikaze drivers, as they're both in the top 10.
Right now, as two Dayco Fords lead the race, Tobias Zerny leads the race here on lap 9 of 20 as we get closer to the halfway point. He's got over a 3.5 second over teammate Marlon J. McMullen, and Marlon McMullen is still in striking distance. We talked pre-race, guys, about the severity of undercutting here. Somebody can have a 5 or 6 second lead here, and it can be lost like that at the drop of a hat, just because of the slowdown penalties. And even these are the best of the best here in the V8's America Series, and we've already seen it happen to Corey Preston, who is one of the best. And I hate to say it, but it can happen to anybody.
You know, I'm seeing some damage on Marlon McMullen's right side. He must have scraped the wall pretty good once or twice, because at his right front end, there's quite a bit of damage there. It don't look like he's having a whole lot of handling trouble from it, but he probably ought to really start being careful, because too much more impact there could really start to cause some handling problems.
Yeah, it really could. Right now, Nigel Baines might try to go to the inside of Corey Preston. He will not be able to get the nose of the car in there to really make a threat. On the other hand, he is letting Corey know that he is there. A fantastic run by these two. We have an HPR and an SDC Motorsport, but in the rear view is trouble, because here's two KRT drivers, and Mark Anderson unfortunately has fallen back behind Nigel Baines. He runs in fifth and sixth at the moment. So a tough break for the KRT boys. Don't know what happened to Mark Anderson. He was in the third position, but how about Corey Preston back up near the front? He rides in third at the moment with Nigel Baines in fourth right on his tail. This could be really interesting.
Yeah, I have to assume it was a slowdown. When the drivers seem to back down a couple positions like that, it usually is from the slowdown, and it's just so critical here at this track. And as I'm pretty sure this is the track where you actually came up with the word devastational, as the slowdowns here are devastational.
I believe you're right, buddy. Here we are halfway through week number 5 here in the V8 Supercar Americas Series. Tobias Zerny with over a
Whoa, and Corey Preston's off.
Big time trouble it could have been for Corey Preston. He's side by side with Nigel Baines right now, going around the mid straight, heading towards the hairpin turn. Nigel will have the inside advantage, and Corey Preston is going to try to hang with him. He will not be able to. He may lose two, as he has a Kamikaze Racing driver, Mark Anderson, on his tail. He will hold the fourth position, but we got a new third place driver. It is Nigel Baines. Tough break for Corey Preston there, as that could have been devastational, but it wasn't. He was actually okay. He's only down a position, and this is still a good battle. Let's go on board with Nigel Baines, and as we go on board with Nigel, head towards the start-finish line right now. Let's take a little lap around this track here on lap number 11, and on Nigel Baines right now, heading towards 1 and 2. Look how these two, you really have to slow down heading through these two. Really got to use a lot of brake. Now you're really flat out running towards turn 3. As you ease on the brake, a nice right-hander, use all the curb that you can get away with, and use the exit curb on exit. Here you have a strong right-hander, and you have to get a lot of speed through there, but then you don't want to use too much, because here is a strong left and then a right-hander back to back. You really have to use a lot of the curb through there. Nigel does a great job, as you see, using all of that curb. Very, very critical part of the track coming up. We see a lot of slowdowns up at the end of this straight. This is the second of the 3 chicanes here. And here you see 1, 2, using all of that curb. Nice speed through the chicane as well. Here is, as we head towards the hairpin, this is where we saw a little bit of trouble earlier and where we saw Nigel make the pass. Here's the hairpin. Really have to click it all the way down into second. Coming through the hairpin, back on the accelerator, but not too hard as to spin the tires. You don't want a lot of wheel spin. And now, flat out on this back straightaway as he heads towards the final chicane here, where it's like Calamity Corner, man. It's so much bad things can happen there. Cars pile up there, or the dreaded slowdown. Here it is, very, very sharp turns. Boom, boom, uses every bit of curb, has to be extremely careful, and then a flat out over the start-finish line. And that's awesome onboard footage there with Nigel Baines. That was a nice lap by Nigel as well. He ran that at Oh, man, Nigel got sideways for a second there. A little power slide on the exit. He is flying at the moment. He's got somebody on his tail named Mark Anderson, and Corey Preston is falling all the way back to 6th place at the moment. He's trying to get around Michael Fulcher. This is going to be a fun battle to watch here because, like I said, this is for a top 5 position. Riding in 6th, it's a lot better to say I had a top 5 versus I finished 6th. It's just one of those positions, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. I'd say most of these drivers are really trying to get into the top 5, and it's just a little bit of a confidence boost to finish in the top 5 whenever you're racing with drivers of this caliber.
Oh,
and
boy, we almost
Corey Preston is sideways and into the grass. Another tough break for Corey Preston. He had such a great start, and then a couple little bad incidents to wind him a little bit further back in the pack.
Side-by-side racing with Sam Collins right now. He's side-by-side with Corey Preston. He should have an inside advantage. He gets on the brakes a little bit early, and Corey Preston cuts him off right there cleanly, but a great job getting through the chicane by Corey Preston in the HPR Ford. That was phenomenal driving right there, and that shows right there why Corey Preston is always up at the front of the field this season. He has had a heck of a season, King. He really has been up at the top week after week.
He has, but a lot's got to be said for Sam Collins in that position when you got a driver coming across like that. Sam showed a lot of skill by there not being a big wreck there. That was a lot Sam Collins had to do with that.
Big time. That could have been big trouble for both drivers, and luckily we both are still fine on the track. Kurt Stenberg coming up on Sam Collins at the moment, and that Dayco Ford is super fast, or has been in races past. But here we are on lap number 13 of 20, guys. A quick rundown of the 15-car field. Your leader at the moment in his Dayco Ford. How about Tobias Zerny leads the race in 2nd place right now at the moment is the defending champ Marlon J. McMullen. He runs in 2nd. 3rd is Team SDC Motorsports Nigel Baines. And 4th, Mark Anderson in the Kamikaze Race Team Ford. Michael Fulcher, his teammate, another KRT. He rides in 5th with Corey Preston of HPR Motorsports in 6th. Sam Collins currently running in the 7th position with Kurt Stenberg in his Dayco Ford running in 8th. 9th, Eduardo Prado runs in 9th with 10th going to Chris Bean at the moment. Sanjin Delilac has tried to recover some from his earlier spin out. He runs in 11th. Team SDC Marty Carroll driver, he got caught on with some of the damage from the Sanjin spin out as he came into a contact with another driver. Unfortunately, he runs in 12th though. He's rebounding really nicely. Dale Niche is currently off the track as he is in 13th. Don't know what just happened, but he just left the track just a second ago. I'm gonna see if I can find out. He rides in he's in 13th at the moment, and 14th Michael Schrager, who is out of the race, or 2 laps down at the moment, and then out of the race is Stefan Maureen. Dale Niche, I believe after he hit Marty, he tried to keep going, Kane, and I think the damage was so bad that he just went into the pits, and that was it for him. He decided that was the race.
Yeah, Montreal can be a tough track. It really can. So tough break for Dale Niche. I think he's had a couple endings to races like that this season. So I hope his luck improves. And as we go into Bathurst next week, I hope he's able to have a good race at Bathurst.
I'm sure he will. We've seen Dale Niche put down some fantastic performances all season long, but we are about to be on the 5 to go train shortly as Bias Zerny starts lap 15 of 20, and he has a 5-second lead over Marlon McMullen in second. Nigel Baines is back in third. Now both Kamikaze Racing Team drivers Mark Anderson and Michael Fulcher, both drivers battling right there together in 4th and 5th position. And both drivers really nose to tail at the moment. I love it when teammates get right there beside each other like this, Kane, because it's fun to see if they want to work together or if they actually try to race, you know, and you know, we're racers, man. We got racing in our blood. You may be my teammate and my buddy, but when we're racing for position, we're racing for position, and I love it. It always makes fun and interesting to watch as we see teammates racing a good bit here.
I'm going to take our attention back to Edward Prado, a newcomer to the series, who I don't recall racing here before, although I could have missed him. But Edward tonight has, or Eduardo, sorry, has gained 6 spots. He's the highest gainer of the night, riding up in 9th position. So good job to Edward Prado on your debut run here in the V8's America Series.
That's really good. He's ahead of some great names right now. When you're ahead of guys like Sanchez Delilac, Marty Carroll, Michael Schrader, Dale Niche, Chris Beaton, I mean, that's just a great list of names to be ahead of right now. So be very proud of yourself. And right now, battling Kurt Stenberg to the fullest. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him try to make a pass here in just a moment. Great battle as they got through the hairpin just fine. Heading down the straightaway at the moment. Great battle. He's going to use that draft all the way down. As we look ahead, he's going to maybe try to peek a nose out. Nope, he's just going to enjoy riding right there behind him for the moment. Still got plenty of time to make a move. You don't want to get into something over aggressive, upset the car in the race. That's definitely something you don't want to do. Both KRT drivers still riding 4th and 5th just fine. It's a great battle right there for position, but I think they're trying to help each other out to catch up to Nigel Baines, who is the car ahead of them now. Nigel is doing a fantastic job up in 3rd place at the moment. He's got about a 2-second lead over these other 2 KRT drivers. If he's able to stay consistent and smooth, he should be able to catch a podium here at Montreal, which I know Nigel would love to have here. And the way he's drove today, Kane, he really deserves a podium.
Well, third place in the season standings. He's really showing that he's got what it takes to be a champion, a season champion, and I definitely see it every week. The performance from him, he's really seems to be getting better and better every week. So a little bit of internet connection problems right now for Nigel. I really hope those clear up and he's able to keep his spot.
I do too, because when somebody clicks out this long, Kane, it's not good. I have seen where it is official. Dale Niche's day is officially done, but really worried about Nigel Baines at the moment. We will find out as soon as we can. We'll let you know the latest on Nigel. He is scored in 3rd for the moment, so we'll have to check on.
You know, he had a same kind of incident. It was either he or his teammate Marty Carroll. I don't remember which one had the same incident last week where he and a couple others disconnected.
He is his receive throughput fell to an unacceptable level, and he is out of the race.
Oh man, I am feeling really bad for his keyboard right now.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy, but I just wanted to make sure we got that out there real quick as we're already on lap 17. Only a few laps to go. He was riding in 3rd comfortably, and that's a big loss right now. I hate to see that.
I feel terrible for him because he is working so hard, having such a great race.
Yeah, he's a good buddy of ours too. A lot of these drivers, good friends of ours, and I hate to see that. Right now, Marlon McMullen, though, is your second place driver and moved back up into the third position as Mark Anderson and his teammate. Now this drive between teammates becomes ever more important, as Michael Fulcher, if he could pass his teammate, would find himself on the podium here in Montreal. Will we see these two have a race to the white line at the end? It's going to be fun to see. Almost some side-by-side racing. Kurt Stenberg on the outside. On the inside is Prado. Eduardo tries to make a move on the inside. They are side-by-side, door-to-door, going through the straightaway. And Kurt Stenberg gets the advantage and is able to pull back in front of Eduardo. But Eduardo Prado in his debut is able to really hang with these guys and almost pulled off a very successful pass on a very fast Kurt Stenberg.
Yeah, Eduardo's really having an excellent race. I'm awful proud of the first-time driver coming into the V8 America Series and racing against this caliber of driver and doing so well in his first appearance here. So congratulations to Eduardo, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the rest of the series.
Yeah, it's awesome. Nigel Baines reconnected, and he's in the pits right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get back out on track and just run the race to finish it if he would be able to. He's just that kind of guy. He's a really great guy. But he did reconnect. That's good to see.
Yeah, showing a lap down so far. He can get back out on the track and only lose the one lap. So hopefully we'll see him out on the track and put the last 3 laps in.
You know, we talk about it week in and week out, Kane. In the world of sim racing, you can compare these internet issues to real world racers when there's mechanical issues that the drivers cannot control themselves. For example, if an engine just happens to blow out of nowhere, and it happens, guys, it happens. Don't believe me? Ask Martin Truex Jr. in the biggest race for stock car drivers all year long. His 78 machine blew up in the Daytona 500. I mean, it just happens. It can happen to the best of the best. It can happen to anybody. So it's very unfortunate, but it does happen, and I'm sure we'll see Nigel Baines bounce back from this. It's you know, it's very unfortunate because he, like I said, he had almost a guaranteed podium if he could have just stayed smooth, and I hate that I had just mentioned that, and then poof, he disappeared. But anyways, here we are, lap 19 of 20, Kane, and how about Tobias Zerny? He's been quiet because he's been out in the lead, and he is really dominating the race. He is all the way to a 5-second gap over defending champion Marlon McMullen. And these two Dayco Ford Falcon drivers moving their way up to finish 1-2 in this race. They're on pace to do so as Tobias is on his 19th lap of 20 here. The white flag will be waving this time by.
Yeah, these guys have had a great race. You know, I always enjoy seeing teams finish 1-2, or in this case, we'll have a team finish 1-2 and possibly 2-3. So it's or 1-2 and 3-4. Yeah, sorry. And yeah, that's cool. That's extra cool. So
we knew what you meant, buddy.
Yeah, sometimes my tongue don't work like my brain.
That's all right. It really is, man.
Whoa, and then Prado gets into Kurt Stenberg, spins him around, and Kurt gets into look like Sanjin, and we got a 3-way incident here at the back.
We're gonna need to pull out a race recall replay on that one. We're gonna have to view it quickly as we just started the final lap too. This is very crucial. Coming into the final lap, Eduardo Prado, newcomer to the series, goes. He has the inside now. What happens is he just got on the brakes too hard. I think he locked him up, Kane, and when he did, his car just slid back in, slid out on him, and there was nowhere to go for the other on the outside. Kurt Stenberg involved. A very rough break here on the last lap, or heading into the last lap. Thanks for that race recall replay, but And here it is, the final lap of Week 5 here in the V8 Supercar America Series. Tobias Zerny on his way to a victory here, if all is well here on the last few turns of his race. He is heading into the hairpin now, only a straightaway and a very, very important chicane left to go for the Dayco Ford Falcon driver. Now, following in his footsteps, right behind him is his teammate Marlon McMullen, and here it is. It'll be as we watch Tobias Zerny making his way down the final straightaway on lap 20 of 20. This is it. All he has to do is be successful here, and everything looks good, nice and slow and smooth for the final time. And here it is in week number 5. The driver of the number 1 Dayco Ford Falcon wiggles his way across. Congratulations, Tobias Zerny wins week 5 here at Montreal in V8 Supercar Americas, buddy. Coming across in second, Marlon J. McMullen does officially cross in second. Mark Anderson will come across the final line. Oh, Mark Anderson fell back.
Yeah, it looks like Mike Fulcher comes across in third. Corey Preston in fourth.
Yeah, Mark Anderson is still falling back. Corey Preston fourth, Sam Collins in fifth. Mark Anderson will come across in sixth. How about Sanjay? Jumped up to seventh after his early debacles. Then you had Kurt Stenberg coming across in eighth. Eduardo Prado in his debut will finish ninth. Marty Carroll, after getting involved in a wreck, still gets a top 10 out of this thing. Good job by Marty to salvage a top 10 after being involved in that accident. Then Chris Bean comes across in 11th there. And Nigel Baines, we all saw the connection issue. He had a podium, and then the connection issue. He will be counted in 12th. Del Niche, unfortunately involved in the wreck with Marty Carroll and Sanjay Delilac. He was not able to continue on much further. He is scored in 13th. Michael Schrayer scored 10 laps out of the lead lappers. He finished 14th, and then, of course, Stephane Maureen rounds out the 15-car field. What a race here for week 5, and a great, great run up to Bathurst next week. And looking at our leaders, both the Dayco Fords, Kane, are doing a little celebration, heading around the hairpin, and I was watching Marlon, and Marlon decided to take a little shortcut.
Yeah, we had some great racing here today, and I expected that we would, but man, once it really got underway, it was awesome. So a lot of great drivers showing exactly why they're in the top split in the V8 Supercars America Series.
I want to have a chat with a good buddy of mine right now who I just want to talk to him, a good friend of ours from SDC Motorsports, Nigel Baines. Nigel, you got a copy on me, buddy?
I sure do, buddy. I hear you.
The tears roll down, I know, buddy. What a fantastic race you had, and we saw it happen, literally. We watched on screen, and I was literally talking about you and everything, and I said, oh, man, all he's got to do is continue doing what he's doing. He's got a guaranteed podium ahead, and then, poof, disappeared off the screen. It was very sad. We watched and waited, hoping you would pop back on soon, and man, very, very tough for you right there.
Yeah, it's I've had a couple now recently, so I've obviously got some sort of issue. I have to do something. Yeah, it just seems to drop me momentarily, and then I'm able to get back in, no problem and stuff. So really annoyed. Just looking at the points there too, and that's just making me even more annoyed.
Yeah, definitely.
Just brutal. Like, just started to have a good run and stuff, and it was a great race. You know, it was a really close battle in there for third, and managed to get to the front of it and get clear too. So yeah, it was kind of comfortable. A few laps to go, and then everybody disappeared. I'm like, oh, that's no fun. Why don't they come back and play? And then I disappeared. So there you go. Yeah, it's tough, but you know, well done to Tobias. Great pace there, and Marlon had a good run too, and Michael snuck the points I see in the end. Yeah, it's great job there, guys. Good racing.
Yeah, it was awesome, man, and we're really glad to talk to you, buddy. We head to Bathurst next week, and I tell you what, call the internet company, tell them you got to get your internet fixed. It's not blinking a lot during the race at all. It's just like a random drop in your bandwidth or something that's knocking you out, I guess. So hopefully we'll have that on because your racing is spot on, buddy. So
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the way I'm driving, and maybe I should have looked at this last week when I had an issue, but thought that was a bit of a one-off, and yeah, it's obviously something. I'm not too technical in those areas, so I'm not sure what to do, but yeah, it certainly taints the evening, that's for sure. But well done to everybody, and thanks again for the broadcast there, guys. It's awesome.
awesome. Thanks a lot, Nige, and best of luck to you next week at Bathurst.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good night.
All right, and that is Nigel Baines, driver of the SDC Motorsports Ford Falcon. Next, let's get in here the winner of the race. He just completely dominated here at the great Montreal Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Tobias Zerny, winner of the race. Buddy, congratulations on a fantastic job here in the V8 Americas.
Yeah, hello guys. It was awesome to take part in the Americas race for the first time, especially considering the time I'm racing now.
Yeah, man. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I noticed I had good pace in the Euro race yesterday evening, and I made some jokes with Marlon that I might be racing the Americas race to gain some points, and so I decided to get up in the middle of the night and race 3:15. And now it's 4 o'clock, and now I can't wait to get to the second part of the night.
Hey man, well thanks a lot for coming. That's a great way to wake up in the middle of the night and win in a big series like this is quite an accomplishment, man. That was definitely fantastic driving there. And when you get ahead of guys like Marlon McMullen, man, you got reason to celebrate. You beat the America's defending champ there, and did a really good job. Just very smooth and fast. You got the pole as well. And man, when you take the pole and the victory, man, it's like Max. You did everything you could. It just took total domination.
Yeah, I'm really happy about the result. Wasn't so happy with the start though, as I dropped the spot to Corey and also Mark dropped the spot, but then I was able to apply as much pressure as possible to force him to make a mistake, and luckily Marlon also went through. The night couldn't have been much better, except for Stenny maybe having less dramas and finishing top 5 as well.
Well, I tell you what, Tobias, it's only week 5 here in the Americas series. I think you should wake up a little late more often, buddy.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do this every week. Just mainly doing this because I have no time basically on Sunday, and I wanted to have some good points. Yeah, but considering the amount of points I got, I might be thinking about it.
That's right, especially with us heading to Bathurst next week, buddy. Well, thanks a lot for coming and chatting with us. That's for certain. We sure are happy to have you here on the broadcast. A fantastic job in the race tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for broadcasting. It's awesome to see also the V8s doing well in the Americas.
Yeah, it really is.
It's such a great thing. It really is very exciting, and I know we hope it continues to grow.
Very happy
awesome
to have the V8s here in the Americas. It's really been a good series, and it's been a pleasure to broadcast. Yeah, I'm very glad to have you join tonight, Tobias. Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Tobias.
That was
Enjoy your victory. I'm going to bring in your teammate, Marlon. Welcome to the show, buddy. I brought you in talking, sorry, and glad to have you here. Great finish in second place right there behind Tobias. You two literally rocked it out here in Montreal, bud.
Yeah, apologise about that. I was just speaking to Nigel and give him a bit of commiserations for his dropout while he's coming third, so sorry about that.
No, you're all right.
No, well done to Tobias, and well done to myself, I guess. I mean, we had absolutely good pace. Unfortunately, we're both on different setups, so it was a bit of a technical session for both of us there. But other than that, I mean, on the first lap, it wasn't really the ideal start for both of us, dropping a position, and all we could do was really just put the pressure on Corey, and eventually Tobias got Corey because of the slowdown, and was that enough for me to able to get through? And then I just pounced on Mark, and from there on it was heads down, bums up, and just go away with the job.
Well, fantastic job. And, of course, we've talked about it week in and week out, Marlon. The rough start to the season has really disappeared after these past 3 weeks. I mean, you tore it up at Road Atlanta last week. Obviously, did it again here with a second-place finish. Did great at the Glen as well, man. You're back on track, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. I've just done a quick calculation of the points, and unfortunately, with Chad taking the second week off, I'm now 4 points in front of him. So cross is averted for now, but I mean, it's still early days in the championship. I'm still around down on some of the other guys. So, I mean, tonight was a really, really good soft for the points as Tobias has got 222 and I've walked away 206. So the championship's only getting stronger and stronger each week. So as long as we stay up the pointy end, we're happy, I guess.
Hey, that's all you can ask, buddy. Well, congratulations. We head off to Bathurst next week. It will be a very special week indeed. Cannot wait to see what you guys bring to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll take what we've got from the last couple of weeks, in terms of setup development, and we'll see how we go for Bathurst, and hopefully we can keep up the momentum.
Absolutely, guys. Well, thanks a lot, both Tobias and Marlon. We sure do appreciate you having you on the show here. Thanks for coming and chatting with us. We look forward to seeing you next week from Bathurst.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
All right, man. Always a pleasure talking to those guys, especially having Tobias on the show for the first time this week. Let's get in here another SDC Motorsport driver. Let's get in here our good friend Marty Carroll for a moment. Marty, do you have a copy with us, bud?
Yeah, copy.
All right, man. And, first of all, I hated to see you get involved in somebody else's spin out there, bud. Got a little damage done to the car, and you still were able to pull out a decent finish, man. I was actually pretty happy to see where you finished after what happened. You're able to at least get out of there with the top 10.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to sort of finish the race off when the car didn't really want to turn right. But my trouble started. I'm not sure if you caught it on the broadcast. I got rear-ended with 4X contact in the opening lap, and sort of I was struggling to keep the rear of the car under me since then. So it was a battle all race long. And then getting involved in the wreck there, and Constantine up the boys didn't make it any easier for us. So.
And teammate Nigel Baines having a little connection issue this week. He had a phenomenal race, and it was so sad to see him pop out like that. But we head off to Bathurst next week, and the second time I ever saw you race, Nigel, you literally destroyed everyone I saw you race with, and it was at Bathurst. So I meant Marty, sorry, buddy. We saw you destroy everybody on the track. I'm hoping we get to see you do the same thing next week, buddy.
Yeah, me too. I definitely had the race pace to keep up with Nigel this week, and I was really looking forward to clawing some points and try and get into the top 10 of the America Series this week. But, we'll both regroup, and, we'll come out next week, and we'll tackle the mountain like we do.
Awesome, buddy. You sound like you're feeling better this week, too. Glad to have you feeling a little better this week, buddy, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Much better. Thank you, gentlemen, and great broadcast once again.
Thanks a lot, Marty. And that is Marty Carroll, ladies and gentlemen, driver of the SDC Motorsport Ford Falcon. Next, I want to get in here. Let's get in one of the Kamikaze race team drivers. Let's get in Michael Fulcher. Michael, you got a copy with us, bud?
Yeah, gotcha, fellas.
Awesome, man. Fantastic job driving with really you and your teammate Mark Anderson, both Kamikaze race team drivers, doing a wonderful job this season. You guys have really made a statement. Both drivers have come out each week. You and your teammate have really represented well. Mark, going into the race this week was in first in the points, man. And week after week, you two really just been doing great. And then you come here to Montreal, and congratulations on getting a podium spot there, buddy.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. I'm really happy about it. I love that track. Any track that I've got a little bit of speed on, I say I love that track. So it's definitely goes.
You're like me.
Yeah, it's definitely up there with the favourites.
That's awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations, like I was saying, definitely on this week. But we could move to Bathurst next week, man, and it'll be my first time seeing you race at Bathurst. And if you keep the results up, you're going to just continue to move up the score sheet. But heading into Bathurst, is it going to be a good week for you next week?
Well, that's a good question. Last season, I wasn't overly competitive there, I must admit. But this season, I have been on the improve. So I'm hoping for, I'll be happy with top 5. That's for sure. I'll be very happy with top 5. We'll just have to see what happens when we get there.
Well, best of luck to you, buddy. Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us. And once again, congratulations on the podium here in Montreal.
Thanks, guys. See you at Bathurst.
Absolutely, buddy. And that is Michael Fulcher, ladies and gentlemen. And, man, they really have been tearing it up, Kane. I mean, those two have just been unreal so far this season.
They have. It's been good to see, too. It's been good to see a team come in fresh like they did and really, start off strong and really start picking up even better than what they started out and really just doing such a great job.
Really, really true. Here's another driver I want to bring in real quick, Corey Preston. And we watched Corey all race long, literally. First of all, Corey's had a phenomenal year to this point, and we literally got to see Corey go up and down, and back up again this race. Corey, you there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
How about that race, man? Tell us what happened there.
One word: slowdown penalties.
Yes, sir, and that's it. And when you come here to Montreal, it's one of the things we talked about, and it got a couple folks, but it really got Corey Preston tonight, buddy. And but how about that? Still, even with the slowdown, how about the 4th place finish, man? Good racing.
Yeah, it was really good out there tonight. I was leading for a little bit, and then I ran out of talent, and then got a slowdown, and then I dropped back behind Michael Fulcher to like 4th place or something, and then yeah, I just was trying to catch back up again and kept running out of talent a few more times, and then on the very last lap, I think Michael Fulcher and his teammate Mark D. Anderson had a bit of a coming together, and poor old Mark Anderson spun, and yeah, Michael Fulcher was really slow, so I was licking my lips trying to get up to him and trying to make a pass, but I just clipped the chicane and got another slowdown, so that was the end of my potential podium. But yeah, good job to everybody else.
Oh man, thanks a lot, buddy. And it was fun. We sure enjoyed watching it. We head off to Bathurst next week, buddy. You've been doing such a good job. We can't help but think you got to have a chance at winning that thing next week at Bathurst.
I hope so. Maybe if our real cars in real life, the Volvo V8 Supercars go well today, maybe it might give us a bit of inspiration to go off.
That's it, man. That's actually a very, very good point. But we'll be looking for you next week. Corey, thanks so much for coming and chatting with us, buddy. Really, really good job tonight. I know the slowdowns got to you a little bit, but you rebounded very nice and still walk out of here with a 4th place finish. Very, very good.
Yeah, thanks, JD. And is it Thomas or Kane?
On the broadcast, we call him Old Kane.
All right, I wasn't quite sure. But anyway, yeah, good job as always with the broadcast, Kane and JD. I'll have to go and watch it.
Yeah, man, please do go check it out. And we thank you guys very much for all that y'all do, man, and look forward to next week.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, buddy. That is Corey Preston, everybody, driver of the HPR Ford Falcon. And just an awesome job by Corey there. And next, I want to get in here one more driver real quick. I want to get in Kurt Stenberg, who's been super fast each and every week here in the V8 Supercar Americas Series. Do you have a copy? Kurt, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear. Hello, guys.
Oh, howdy do, as they'd say in some places. 8th place finish tonight, Kurt. We saw you racing really hard with a new name that we're not used to seeing. Eduardo Prado was with you there and had a scary moment there for a minute going into the hairpin.
Yeah, he tried to pass me there the lap before, and then that lap he went to pass me again and, yeah, made contact and spun me, which I wasn't happy about, but didn't do it intentionally, so it's all good. That stuff happens like that.
Yeah, it's never good when it does happen, but things do happen. We actually watched both scenarios. The first time it was actually a very, very good job by you to not allow him to pass. He really did a really good, had a good opportunity, and he did about as good a job as he could have to try to overtake, and you just had a really good answer for it and just didn't allow it. And it was an excellent racing to watch. So the next time you guys came by, we were watching, and when we did a replay, I really noticed that what happened was Eduardo looked like he locked his brakes up, and when he did, the back end got out from under him, and it was just he was along for the ride at that point for a little bit, and that's when the contact happened. So I know it was definitely not intentional. It's never fun when that happens, though. But all in all, eighth place finish here at Montreal, not too bad, buddy. We head off to Bathurst next week, obviously. One of all of our favorite places to go and have some fun. And we can't wait to see how you guys do there. You've been really fast all season long. I can't help to think that we'll be looking at you at least up there in the top 5, maybe fighting for a win.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Bathurst. It's the Saturday race, I think. No, the Thursday race for you guys. Last year I came second, so I'm looking forward to getting back to Bathurst because I've got some good pace there. More than I've got at this track this week.
That's awesome, buddy. Definitely looking forward to it. I know you're going to be working hard all week long in preparations for next week. So best of luck to you, Kurt. Thanks so much for coming by and having a chat with us. And go check out the broadcast soon. And we look forward to talking to you next week, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for your work on the broadcast.
Oh, anytime, buddy. We sure do appreciate doing it. You guys always put on such a good show for us. I wish that we could just have a little chat with iRacing and get them to up the top split a little bit. We had 13 in the top split last week, I think, and then this week we had 15. I wish that we could at least make it like 20, and we'll get there. We'll get there. We want to keep the series growing, and but it's just such a good group of guys that race. You guys are all really talented. And it makes the broadcast excellent because the close racing that we have in this series is just great. So thank you guys for doing all that great racing out there for us.
No worries. It's always good fun.
All right, buddy. Well, that is Kurt Stenberg, everybody. Always great to talk to him, driving the Dayco Ford out there. And he's just been really fast all season long. I just got a feeling we'll see something big from him at Bathurst. Don't be surprised to see him winning that thing next week. And next up in here, I want to get in here, a good friend of ours, Sanjan Delilac. Always a good guy to talk to. And Sanjan, you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you. How you going, guys?
Oh, doing fantastic, man. We got to watch your race tonight. Not one of the best races I've seen you run out there. And it's not like you ran a bad race because you didn't. But you got turned around there once and still were able to get out of here with a 7th place finish. It makes me think what could have been had not had one or two little tiny slip-ups, man.
Oh, yeah, no. First of all, I'd like to apologise to Samuel again for it's my mistake, mate. I just went in too hot and missed the brake marker and lost it, I guess. And, yeah, unfortunate and got tangled up with him a bit. But, yeah, I've been struggling with the car all week, actually, at the circuit, and just can't get pace out of it.
Well, if for a week like that to walk out of here with a 7th place finish, I think that's quite successful because you don't have to worry about Montreal anymore this season. We're off to Bathurst from this point on. So I'd just be worried about next week, man. I think it's going to be one of the big, obviously Bathurst is always one of the biggest weeks, especially as far as broadcasts go. Everybody loves to watch the Bathurst race. It will be the 2nd time that we go there since the build that it came. So real excited to have you guys out there, man. I got to think you got to be one of the favorites up there at the front, man.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, I've been waiting for Bathurst to come out. It's part of the reason, I guess. Yeah, bring on Bathurst, I guess.
I just don't want you to get your head down. You've been extremely fast all season long, Sanjan, and I know you work really hard. Every time I go into a practice room, you're always in there, buddy, and because I always try to keep a good lookout on what's happening throughout the week, and just got to think, that you're going to be somebody to compete with next week. So best of luck to you, Sanjan. And like I said, congratulations, man. Even with the race tonight, still walked out there with a 7th place finish. That's not bad when you look at the points championship. Here we are, week 5, still a lot of season left.
Yeah, no, over the moon actually with 7th after the race, like 2 spins and that. And just Kurt Steinberg and got tangled up with someone there, and I just wanted to flip the back of him as well. Overtaking him, I thought I cleared him, but no, unfortunately I just tagged him. But yeah, sorry to him as well.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, thanks so much for coming and having a chat with us, Sanjin, and best of luck to you at Bathurst next week.
No, thanks very much, guys.
All right, buddy. And that is Sanjin Delilik. Always good to talk to him, and be fun to see him next week as well. And I want to have a quick word real quick, if I may. I want to have a quick word with Graham Bones, Filing Bones. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you going, JD? Kane.
Good to hear from you, bud. Tell us about what happened over there in the other split. We sure want to know what happened to some of our friends that we normally see that didn't get to make it over, like yourself.
Oh yeah, no, it was a pretty good race. There was a couple of new guys that said they hadn't raced the V8 before, so it was good to see a couple of new guys in. And yeah, all in all, it went fairly well. I had a fairly good start and had Zach Baker pretty much in me era most of the time. He had a couple of cuts which dropped him back a little bit, and then I'd have one and he'd get right back within 4 seconds, and the pressure was back on. But
yeah,
all in all, everyone enjoyed the race. I think there was a lot of guys at the end said that it was an enjoyable race. So.
Oh, that's great news, buddy. That is awesome. Who ended up winning over there?
Yeah, well, we got I ended up getting first place. Zach Baker second, and Phil Jones jumped into the 3rd spot and pipped out Martin, who got Martin Creamers got a
awesome,
cut penalty.
Man.
So yeah, so they there was a pretty good battle.
Man, that's fantastic news, buddy. Congratulations on the victory. And yeah, man, if somehow you don't get to head over here into our split, man, you'll have to start coming over like you did tonight and give us a fill in on what happens.
Yeah.
We wish we could cover both splits, but we're just not able to be at 2 places at one time.
yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I think I'll keep getting put in there. I dropped about 110 I rating in the Porsche, the Buddy Cup this week, so that sort of put me back a bit. But,
it'll happen, man. It happens, trust me.
A big shout out. We got our V8 starting this week, and our sponsor team Volvo and Scotty McLaughlin are doing really well. Got 5th position for start of the first race, and he got second qualifying for the second race. So they've put the new car right up the front, right at the start. So
yeah,
shout out to Volvo.
Really looks like Scotty's doing a great job in the new Volvo.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, it's great to have a new car in and just doing so well. They look so great, and I've been telling the boys at Altitude Volvo, I said they look good. I just hope they can perform and get that Volvo driver mentality out of other people's heads, the slow Volvo driver.
Oh yeah, and they seem to be doing just that. Scotty really seems to be doing great in the car.
Yeah. I said Scotty must have been watching Corey, because Corey's been doing pretty well lately.
He has. Corey has really been on fire this season.
Yeah, he's got his head into it now. And,
yeah, I told him I wouldn't be surprised to see him win Bathurst, man. He has been on fire.
Yeah, and once you start racing up in with the top guys, you really, you've just got to get your head into it, and he's doing that really well. So, yeah, we're pretty proud of him at the moment. So.
All right, Bones. Well, I'm gonna hold you to being my race 2 my second split reporter for a while, buddy.
I'll be happy doing that. It's too much pressure in the front one for me old bloke here. So I don't mind it back there, and there's enough pressure back there for me. So
for a little while, anyways. We'll have you back up here soon. I know we will. If you keep winning those races, they're gonna make you come up here.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Buddy. Yeah, good call, and see you next week. And make sure you watch the V8s this week.
Oh, absolutely,
should be interesting.
Man. I'm a V8supercar.com V8 Superview member, man. I get it all live in HD and full. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I think my account's fixing to renew actually, so I got to make sure that happens, because I definitely got to spend some time watching the race this weekend.
It's all starting shortly, so yeah, head on over and enjoy it. I'll be having a few beers.
Will do, man. Thanks
right,
a lot,
again,
buddy.
guys. See you, JD, Kane.
All right, buddy. And that is our good
Thanks.
Graham, or better known as Bones. Take care to him. And man, Kane, it's been an extremely fun week here at Montreal. It's a great way to kick off or finish off the week here as we get ready to head towards Bathurst. Like I was talking with a couple of drivers earlier, it's over. You know, Montreal's over. It's done.
Yeah.
It's Bathurst.
And Bathurst
Right.
is definitely something to look forward to. We always
It's Bathurst week.
Yeah, we enjoy
For us.
we enjoy the heck out of going to Bathurst, and we always try to make it a little bit bigger production, but it's a great track. God, I love Bathurst, so I can't wait till next week.
Just got racing in our blood, man. We just did the Daytona 500 in the NIS series. Here we are now, fixing to head to Bathurst. Ah, man, it doesn't get better than this. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us here at Montreal. Once again, I want to thank all our wonderful sponsors. I want to thank the V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and the V8 Online Superstore, our very own. It's wonderful. Go check it out. Kane Craft is with me. I'm JD Smith, and here from V8's Online, we'll be reporting live for you for probably a pretty special broadcast live from Bathurst next week. You guys have a great night.